I had to verify that I'm me. Glad we did that whole introduction. Hi guys, how you doing? Yeah, I've clicked go live. It got all the way through. Press go live. It said an error has. I just refreshed the page.
No. We did the whole thing. Mikey started doing an introduction. I played into it, and then I was like, "I'm pressing refresh. Are you sure we're live?" It's like, I think we are. Oh no, I have to check on me.
Yes.
Yeah. So as you may notice, I am not floating in a green void right now, and I'm not lit the same way, and I'm on my laptop, so there's a lot of changes.
Yes. And what we were saying is we both live in Boston, near Boston anyway, in the UK, and you're not in Boston, UK. You're in Boston, US right now.
Just outside of it, yeah.
So he's just changed one letter. That joke doesn't feel the same the second time round. Good evening, Munzer, Roderick, and Render.
Hello, Munzer. Hello, Roderick. Hello, Render. Yes, I am visiting my girlfriend and her kid. In fact, my girlfriend's just popped off to school to pick her up. And this is my girlfriend's office, so it looks very different.
You might need to turn your audio down again. Now you're talking normally and excited because we've got people. Hi. That clipped and hurt my poor ears.
Yeah, so my laptop microphone keeps resetting itself. So how's that?
You should try Windows. I heard that's brilliant with microphones.
I did try Windows. That's what I threw the Mac out of.
Whee! Yes, so
Mikey, what have you been up to all week?
I have been playing with some of the new stuff in Blender, and BBN 19 or Caramel. Oh dear, I've forgotten his new handle.
Hello,
good evening. You can actually do a machine learning algorithm with Blender 3.5. It's a wee bit nuts. And I'm diving into these basically in 3.4 and 3.5. We're not quite on. No, we are on 3.4. Sorry, on 3.5, Blender 3.5. We are going to have the ability to do proper simulations. We've got repeating, we've got loops, so you can actually have a feedback and end up with amazing simulations. And we've had to hack that before with an interim buffer where you store the result, you then refer to that result, you refresh and do the same. And that was very clunky, very slow. But now it looks like we're going to be able to play with simulations properly and just watch them develop. And I'm really looking forward to that. And it's going to be a lot of fun when it comes out.
Very cool.
I've now got that song in my head. My Yanni streams over the ocean. How do you feel about being called Yanni?
I mean, it's not my name, but it's fun. Like, I've never seen it IE before, so I'm appreciating that. Thank you, Roderick. I've seen I and I've seen IC, but yeah, that's a brand new one. I like it. I have been decorating kitchens. Every time I visit my girlfriend, she mentions a room she doesn't like. I'm like, do you want to go to Home Depot? So this time, because she inherited this place from my grandmother, and the wallpaper in the kitchen is like this 1979 beige flowers on fake wood. So fake wood paneling, beige flowers, fake wood cabinets. So we took one wall and we painted the fake
Good
wood
evening,
white.
Daz.
Hi, Daz. And we painted the wallpaper blackboard or chalkboard, if you're in the US. So then when her kid got home from school, she's like, what did you do? I said, it's very important that you draw on the walls. And that was her done for the evening.
That's brilliant.
We also got the kitchen table, so there's a whole thing going on. So I was a bit proud of that.
So the kitchen table is now a chalkboard.
Yeah.
Cool. I got that right.
Right when you play board games, because you sort of decorate the whole thing with a theme.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That is really awesome, being able to actually change the table without worrying about damaging the table.
I mean, it was a table from IKEA that nobody liked, so let's make it fun.
Even better. That's awesome.
But yeah, I know we had a question about the ARPG project.
Yes. Just a reminder to anybody: if you're not here for the streams, if you're watching back and you're like, wish I could have asked the question, over on our Discord, there is a live streams question channel. You could pop your question in there, and we'll do our best to answer it. I mean, we do get some odd questions from time to time. So yes, the question was, I'll read it out. Here we go. The question was, and I think we covered most of this last week, but we will reiterate anyway. What's the latest news with the ARPG course? Is the latest Godot 4 still giving some trouble? I've paraphrased it a little.
So I've not tried beta 12, and then almost immediately afterwards they did beta 13. There's still a lot of changes happening, so I'm not yet at a stage where I'm comfortable like sitting down recording. Plus, this laptop isn't good for recording. I did try it before. In fact, the first Looney Lip stuff on Discovering Godot was done on this laptop, and then the moment we started moving into moving graphics, it was like, no,
I'm not doing it. So I know recently with Godot 4, they actually did something that changed a whole load of naming and everything else. So even though it's in beta, it is actually still having things that would be course breaking. That's the main problem when it comes to things in Godot, just Godot 4 in general. If something changes massively, that just requires a whole section re-record, which isn't great because then people who have done that section then have to wait for it to be redone before the next one, and all that.
Well,
nonsense.
not even that. They have to go back and do it because if they wait for it to be redone and then carry on, it won't work.
And this is very true. It'll be different from what they've learned.
Right. So that's not a great learning journey. It's also still very much in beta, so we want to it's looking pretty close to release, to be honest. It's looking amazing. I do want to get a little bit better with navigation agents. But still, I've made them do what I want 80% of the time. Like they do stuff, and they more or less work. But more or less work isn't really what you want when you're teaching a course. Like, why does this work? Oh, it's not a great response.
Yeah, it's totally different when we're doing let's say a YouTube video on something new that's just come out, and then 2 months later, it's not working anymore. That's fine because videos can be timely like that. But when it's a course, we don't really want it to last 2 months. We want it to last a little bit longer than that, wherever possible.
I am very much looking forward to getting hold of the new models and the new animations, which I know is a whole thing.
In fact,
that's a huge project for Mikey.
I'm currently looking up the models. We showed them off last week. I wish I could. So I haven't quite worked out yet how on stream to share some music that I've been working on. The main program that I'm using currently to do a lot of my composing is one that I've played with for something like 10 years now, or even more. FL Studio. It used to be called Fruity Loops back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that takes over my audio system, so suddenly OBS doesn't get any sound. So I think I've got a solution, and so hopefully next time that we're doing this, I can have my laptop next to me that has Fruity Loops in it, and I can have that going into the computer as well. Therefore, another audio source, and it just won't it won't take over this. But yeah, I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to actually show that off, which is
I like every time I make a beta or the beginning of a game. And I give it to Mikey. He's like, "Oh, this is really good. I'll get you some good music. I like this music. I'll get you some good music."
Hint, hint.
Like the soundtracks I found for Battle Tactics.
Yes.
I was so proud of it. You're like, I'll get you some music. But this is really good. I'll get you some music.
Yeah. There's, I think it's a tiny bit of me being snobby about it.
No. I mean, that'll do isn't really what you want, is it? Either for a course or for a game. Like, you need to feel proud of it.
Very true. So I'm just looking through at the moment. I've updated Blender to 3.4 for the next section that I'm recording, and I blanked all the settings. Brought all in add-ons and all that lot that you can do, but it didn't bring back across my opened recent files.
Oh,
and I should know where all my stuff is, shouldn't I?
You have a lot of Blender stuff.
I have a lot of Blender stuff.
That's a big ask. Have we done the And We're Live, by the way?
Sorry, what?
Have we done And We're Live?
No.
Let me do that.
Okay, awesome. I don't know what's going on. Just having a quick look. I don't think I've got easy access to it at the moment, which is a shame.
We'll prepare a sort of here we're get ready for the action RPG thing.
So
We're a little closer to it, and I'm back in the country, so I can have some stuff ready to show as well.
yeah,
Because this
that's
laptop
true.
is great for exploring things, but I can't do things like share my screen.
Yeah, we tried that. So we prepped, but we had a quick test to see whether it is even possible. And latency wise, you are far better than you are when you're like
Latency is
10
great,
miles
but this
down the road.
machine is like 6-7 years old. Like I bought it before I moved back to the UK.
Yeah.
And it's getting on a bit. Like laptops, like they chug along. There comes a point where they're just slow.
I mean, it's one of those. It's one of those things, unfortunately. And I've tried it. High-powered laptops often, not always, but often end up sounding like a wind tunnel, which is fine if you've got headphones on. But it's no good for recording because you end up with a constant hiss. And even with really good noise removal, then the quality of the voice ends up going down as well. And it seems absolutely silly to spend and focus on decent audio and then end up with it being rubbish again because you've had to apply noise cancellation. It is getting really good. I mean, when NVIDIA released what they used to call RTX Voice, they now call it NVIDIA Broadcast. If you've got a 2000, I think it worked with older 10 series as well, but a 20 or 30 or even 40 series, it will do live noise cancellation.
No, I tried it on the 1060. It's like, nope.
Yeah, it just won't. It worked kind of on my 1080.
There was a workaround, but the impact on the frame rate was just not worth it.
Yeah. It didn't. It used the CUDA cores. Good evening, Vertex, rather than I think they call them tensor cores, the AI matrix multiplication.
But I'm very much looking forward to like getting my teeth back into the ARPG and seeing what we can do with our own assets and stuff like that. And of course, Godot for Everyone. I'm really looking forward to that one. There's some fun things there, and I've got an idea for what to do for our stealth game.
Oh yes, and we'll play a little stealth game towards the end of the stream as well.
That's my idea.
So, Godot for Everyone. For those who don't know, what is Godot for Everyone?
For those who don't know, Godot for Everyone is our upcoming modular course, so you can buy the entire thing or just the bits you want for Godot 4, and it is for everyone, for beginners through to high-end intermediates. If you're at the very expert stage, you probably don't need to take it, but for everyone else, and the 2D games we've got planned are mostly, not all, but mostly remakes of classic arcade games. So you know how the gameplay works, you have an understanding of what you're looking for. Here's some ways to do it with some assets we'll provide. And now I'm looking at sort of 3D solutions. I mean, we know we want Tuki Kickabout, which you probably have somewhere, but
yeah. I definitely have.
But I have an idea for our stealth game, because we did Heistmeisters in the board game course back in the other company. We did Heistmeisters with Discovering Godot, and now I want to do something that isn't Heistmeisters but quite close. And also, Jelly, you're absolutely right.
Good evening, Jelly.
When I lived in the US, my internet speed was way lower than it was in the UK, but my girlfriend has excellent internet.
If only we had. I mean, neither of us have great broadband, unfortunately. It was amazing. So a couple of months back, I went over to go see my dad, and he's got gigabit almost both ways. And
thanks, Roderick.
Yeah, why not?
No.
So I go there, and I'm anticipating something taking me an hour and a half to 2 hours to do. But the fact that when I clicked upload video, it just went whoop along. The progress bar just moved, and I was like, oh. And on some of the platforms that we release, you have to upload before you can do anything else. So you're kind of bottlenecked behind this process, and it was just done. I was like, oh, cool.
I wasn't ready.
I didn't even have
my downtime.
I didn't have time to boil the kettle. What's going on?
I'm not doing anything. You can sit there and watch me for 10 minutes and see how you like it.
Computer, you can wait for. And I was done in like 20 minutes. So I was like, oh. And it was amazing. So I get up to 80 megabits, and most of the time it's around 60, and if the kids are home, it's around 5. And when you've got a gigabit, it is literally orders of magnitude faster. It wasn't just the fact that the bandwidth was more as well. When you clicked on links to do things, it just went snap. There was none of this waiting for stuff to load. The latency was a lot lower, so it was amazing. Good broadband makes good times happen. That's what I learned.
Oh, GTA 5 has a massive security flaw at the moment. I mean, the hacking has always been rife. Let's be fair.
I'm gonna shrug. I don't have the time to play GTA 5 at the moment. What I have been playing, I've and completed in very, very quick time, was The Last of Us 2. Really enjoyed it. And one of the things that it made me think of, so and speaking of GTA 5 as well, there's a scene where in GTA 5 in the actual single player story mode, where you're playing as Trevor and you're forced to do things. They're part of the narrative. You're forced to do it. There's no ignore it and something else happens anyway. And there's a torture scene with the FBI, I think, if you're playing.
You're forced to physically take part in torturing someone.
So The Last of Us 2 has and it's 2 years old, so spoiler warning, but if you're going to play it, you probably have by now.
And remember, it is legally mandated that when you give spoiler warnings, you do it in that voice.
Spoiler warning! I've gone up an octave.
Voice. Spoiler warning!
There was part of it where I'm like, I left the control. I physically left the controller. You're chasing down someone in a hospital. I think Nora is the character's name, and she's kind of just against the door, exhausted, and I think she's infected at the time. And you basically just flashing there on the screen. I'm playing on the PS, so it's flashing square. I'm like, no, I don't want to partake in this, and I left the controller there for 2 minutes. It just had this scene with the antagonist at this point, I suppose, that she had certainly changed position. And I was just like, but surely they could have scripted this out so I didn't have. And I get the point. If you're trying to have a narrative within a story where you want the player to feel the same uncomfortableness and stress that the character is feeling, having them involved like that is kind of important. But at the same time, this person is dying in front of you, and you're then forced to use, I think, a bit of pipe work on them. I'm like, it was the only part in the game that I'm like, yeah, cool, fine, whatever. That I was just like, really, I don't want to participate in this. The rest of the game, yeah, I'm fine with it. But is that one scene, I was like, oh. And there must be other games like this that force you down a narrative without giving you an option.
Especially in open world games where it's all about freedom, right? To be railroaded into a choice you really don't want to make.
No,
has this, like, I could see legitimate gameplay reasons to do that when you're trying to make a specific point.
I mean, The Last of Us,
the one in GTA 5 just made me think, I'm never doing that again.
Well, I fully appreciate that The Last of Us is a story and it is a narrative, and you're playing through this character's story. So there is no open world element to it at all. But in an actual open world game where you're supposed to have choices, maybe not so much. But yeah, that hit hard, and it was probably the first time in many, many years that I've had, probably since GTA 5, but I didn't realize. Perhaps I was more careless in my youth. Oh, yeah, we just torture someone. Why not? The game told me to.
Right. Like, if it was a choice, like an actual choice, that's a different thing.
Yes.
But when it's, you must do this or there is no more game.
Yeah. I mean, I thought they would have written in I don't want to do this. The character just does it. If you leave it long enough.
Last of Us TV series second episode dropped today. According to
no spoilers. I'm watching it after the stream. It's now my my Monday evening fix. For
lots of zombie things. I don't know. I do not like this streaming service new episode weekly thing.
I don't get it. It's annoying.
Just hate it.
I thought we'd moved past it.
back in like 1990, I used to daydream about being able to go onto your computer and just watch a TV show, and whatever episode you want would just be there. And then when streaming first came along, I was like, oh, I this is exactly what I pictured. I could just watch an entire season, and then all of a sudden these like, oh yeah, no, I'm glad you're enjoying this. Stay tuned this time next week. Like, why?
I do appreciate
TV
when they
schedule are we following?
Yeah, I do appreciate when they just drop. Here's the season, or here's the half season, whatever. Enjoy yourself. Watch it all, or watch it on your schedule. I mean, that's kind of the point for me, anyway, of online streaming. I'm with you 100% there. Yeah.
Now, for those of you from the States, when we say schedule, I believe you pronounce this aluminum.
Yep. One thing that this was Amazon Prime. I think it might have been Picard. They had a break, like for 4 weeks or so. It might not have been Picard, but anyway. So you're watching it, and it literally says there, new episode weekly. It's on the banner. I've watched all of them up to that point. Next week, where's me episode? Next week, where's? You must be smart enough to know that I've watched it. Do not show me new episode weekly when it's blooming not. You're lying.
I just don't get it. I mean, I've heard various theories, including they're trying to keep the water cooler talk thing going, but either have it streaming or not. Like, if you're going to do new episodes weekly, just put it on TV.
Possible. Yeah, it might have been COVID. You're quite right there. So highlighter on the Radio Times. So the Radio Times is a TV magazine. Do they have those in TV Guide? Do they have those in the States?
I don't think that anyone has them anymore.
I'm pretty sure since someone anyway. So yeah. Radio Times was the good one. That was higher quality than the crappy one.
That's true, because there was like TV Daily and stuff, wasn't there?
It was impossible to read. It was just a sea of mess.
Well, it was easier when I was a kid because there were only 4 channels.
1, 2, 3, and 5. Yep.
I mean, this was way before 5. I mean, I remember when Channel 4 went live.
No way.
Way.
No.
I'd be caught blue-handed.
Why are you blue? Dabba dee dabba die.
Okay. Yesterday, my girlfriend bought a box of cupcakes.
And now they're all gone.
Is enjoying the cupcakes. There was one vanilla one left. Her kid's favorite color is blue. I found blue food dye.
You painted.
She'll never know it was me. Yeah. Painted the cupcake blue.
Is this a child-safe blue food color? Are you going to have like a hyper child later on in the day?
I mean, I keep saying this. Double-blind medical experiments have demonstrated that sugar doesn't make kids hyper.
It's the party they're at.
Right. But it's such an ingrained observation, such an ingrained logical fallacy, that even as I'm saying it, I don't believe it's true. Like, all the medical evidence tells us it's the circumstance, not the sugar. Sugar doesn't make kids hyper. There's a bunch of other good health reasons not to give kids a bunch of sugar. Like, I'm not working for the sugar lobby, but it doesn't make them hyper. But yay, I got a cupcake. Might.
Just a little bit. I mean, there is a little bit of, if you've had fast burning carbs, you can end up with a quick reaction. You get like full of energy and stuff because of that, and then you have your crash afterwards. That would happen with pasta.
Short burst, yeah.
That would happen with a bowl of pasta. That would happen with any fast carb.
Now, I'm very excited about a thing, and I know you want to do it at the end, but I don't want to, so we're doing it earlier.
Okay.
I was watching one of the YouTube channels I subscribe to, Guns, Nerds, and Steel, which is mostly about 7 Days to Die, but he does other stuff as well. And he showcased a game he found on itch. And earlier, Jelly was joking about stealth game equals Mikey with rocket launcher. I would like to demonstrate the most Mikey stealth game of all time. I say I'm going to demonstrate. Mikey's going to demonstrate it. I have a link for the itch page that we'll show you afterwards. But I don't know if Mikey's going to be able to share his screen with me or not.
Probably. But you have to.
I really want to do something like this, and I need to figure out how to do something like this for Godot for everyone. Because if we could do like this kind of bone-based physics stealth game. Like add in like security camera and do a couple of levels, I would be so happy. I really want to see what people could do with this.
So I'm going to launch it, and then I'm going to share screen, and hopefully things will work. That's the plan anyway. So,
oh yeah, the bent metal coat hanger in the back of the TV. Oh, how about this one? This is one for Daz and Jelly and people of our age. Kids, could you just go up to the TV and wiggle the antenna so I can see the picture? Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Great. No. Okay, just stay behind the TV while I watch this program.
I remember moments like that. I must
Mikey,
have been
you're
young,
going to have to put the link through because I can't. Oh no, I'm a mod. Never mind.
Right. If I share my entire screen,
I mean that the kids with the dishwasher too, Jelly. Yeah, these seem to be sharing a screen. Let me.
Okay, I'm not sharing it with you guys yet, so you'll have to wait
I will send the
a
link.
moment. So this game is both infuriating and a lot of fun.
It's genius. Oh, what are you doing? No, no, bad Mikey.
Oh, it wasn't sharing the window; it was sharing. Just trying to make Jan vomit. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a game called The Professional, and it's a hot. When I first saw the screenshot, I went, "Oh, so this is just a Hitman clone."
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
So I think. Oh, it's got both of us on. Hey, it worked from before. Nice. So, wait a minute. Let's make sure they can still hear you. Make some noise.
Whoop, whoop.
Excellent.
Gavin was the kid sent around to the neighborhood to fix everyone's VCR. The VCR timer. Yeah.
Okay, so Jan might have been echoing for a few of you there. I believe I've sorted that out. So let's just go back and hide this and start game. So I thought, what is this all about?
So there's only two controls. There's right mouse button.
That's a camera. The triangle and the square's a camera. I thought it was play and stop. I was so confused at the beginning of the game. I thought you had to like move a little.
Yep, nailed it. Okay, so the trick here is you grab the bone, not the joint. Now, Mikey and I have very different strategies for this. Mikey's strategy is to be a fish, but this is a highly realistic heist simulator.
Yes.
Now, the one thing I do wish it had is security cameras that would just take random shots of your poses, like Wanted. Now, it is possible to actually think about what you're doing and like figure it out, but Mikey just likes to make wheels out of his arms.
What a degenerate strategy? That's what it's called, isn't it?
Degenerate. Yep.
This is so much fun.
I mean, there is like a way you can figure this out. Like, it is actually a puzzle game if you do it right, but this is like Mikey's way of doing it.
The other day I was just doing this and I managed to catch.
What are you doing? That doesn't count.
Totally does.
There you go.
La la. And now
Take the arm, you nutter. I'll do that. Fine. Okay, now the lasers, you have to be very careful because, well, they don't set an alarm off. That's the good news.
Quick!
Now admit it. You want a Heistmeisters game like this, right?
How do you climb stairs at home? I always use my nose.
Well, this isn't the tricky bit. The tricky bit is your toes.
They're both up.
I've actually gotten pretty good at like moving the limbs in a way that moves me how I want to be moved. Mikey just likes to like randomly move things around.
Circles. This one you can't cheese it like that though. It just doesn't work.
You can. You just have to be very lucky. It also matters where your center of gravity is.
Maybe.
No, it does.
I will get there. So
I
yeah,
mean, that's an actual legit pose.
So while we were playing this yesterday, wow, yeah, it became quite obvious that
Yoga sim.
yeah, yoga. It became very obvious that this was a puzzle game with another built-in, a movement puzzle, because being able to move is quite challenging. Oh, I think I'm not going the way I want to now. Maybe.
There you go. Yeah.
And I did realise that if you go slowly, your character tends to grip a bit more.
Yeah, so the character is very light, very bouncy, but has a center of gravity and has a mass. You've got no clue, have you?
Oh no, I don't know how bodies work. I didn't pay attention at school with that bit.
Yeah. He's never had to use a body before, so.
And I always use my forehead for things.
This is how I always climb stairs. It's why my feet don't work anymore.
That explains a lot.
What do you think is going to happen here?
Oh dear. But it's a very interesting mechanic in terms of...
So what you've got to do is you've got to get to the diamond, break the glass, and then get back. And then it just gives you a time. But I'm thinking, if I could figure out how to do this mechanic, which I haven't tried yet, and I'm not sure I could, I'm sure I could find ways like it, but I haven't played with it. Is do a level that introduces like a really slow moving security camera, or I don't know, an escalator, or just a couple of different puzzles. Nice. That's how you staircase.
Yeah. Why? Until I do something.
This guy taught me rigging in Blender, says Jelly.
You know what took me ages to work out is you don't grab the joints.
Straighten out the knee at the back.
You don't grab the joints. You actually grab the limbs themselves. And
straighten out the knee.
Straighten out the knee. So bring this down.
No.
Hua.
There you go. Now swing the other leg over. No, other leg. Why don't you understand basic bodies? Good. I hope you go backwards down the stairs and there's the laser.
You say that, but I pretty much did that when we were testing it out.
Yeah.
So close. So I can be cautious, but why do that when we can have a lot of fun? Right. Just need to...
Ow!
Oh, I feel the pain of this. It's ridiculous. It's fine.
Daz says stairs equals downward dog into flailing mantis of Carlsberg made stairs. Yeah, totally.
Uh-oh. No. Ooh.
Yep. Do it.
No. I'm gonna put
Okay, so the other thing is the faster you move, the more momentum you've got in. So if you want to flip, you move fast. But if you don't want to flip, if you just want to arch, go slowly. Nice.
If in
Okay, now you have to get out.
So we all know how to do this. Oh, Ministry of Silly Walks came to mind.
Pow! Yeah, if you straighten that knee, there you go. That's how you go downstairs.
Almost competent, yeah. Not quite. Here we go. Why?
Well, I'm just picturing a bunch of security guards watching the cameras going...
He's not going to make it. He's not. We're just watching.
Like, sitting there with popcorn, throwing money around.
So, one of the things this reminds me of, especially the way that...
Jelly votes that you have to speak falsetto for the rest of the stream.
So. Okay. So, what I think...
Ow! Safe word.
So, you remember a few years back when AI was learning how to walk like bipeds in computer simulations. This is just that.
Are you returning the diamond?
No. This is... I'm trying my arm swinging mechanic again.
Good.
Ooh. And swing. And swing.
The arm might be in the way.
Maybe. It was actually surprisingly difficult yesterday to get back.
Yes.
I thought it would be a lot easier.
The diamond actually changes the weight.
Yes. So you can't always use the same strategy you used before. Okay. Can we send that to the umpire, please? Because that's
the screenshot, Adam. So yeah, good work, Turfy, on this game, because I think there's a whole actual game that could do this. Like maybe change some of the mechanics of difficulty a little bit.
Oh, quick! No, wrong way. There are genuine moments in this where you think you've completely screwed up. You're like, I should be moving right now. So yeah, there are...
says, should we arrest him or call the ambulance? I'm just picturing security guards with popcorn. Oh.
There are a couple of things with the game. So I wasn't clear to me anyway when we started looking at it that you grab the middle of the joint.
I mean, it reminds me of Quap and a little bit of Octodad, but like where the difficulty of the character is the game.
But human fall flat.
The obstacles, human fall flat. Well, kind of. But in Quap, you had to like use the letters to move the limbs, and you just your mind can't cope. Just throwing a tantrum while on the phone.
Hello? Yeah, I've got the diamond and...
Stop watching and help me! This is rabid salmon technique.
Rabid salmon. Yes. Oh,
what do you think is going to happen? Like, I love the fact that you've learned nothing.
I'll just spin the other hand. The thing is, you say I've learned nothing, and then I spin it round and I go flying across the level.
No. Like, it will sometimes work. It's just you don't know why.
I'm just evolution incarnate.
I don't know what you are, but...
Okay, I can flip myself around. I can moonwalk.
Concussion, man. Ow! Oh, medic.
So I'd be interested in what other maybe bones. I mean, it's kind of annoying.
No, I think the simplicity is important, right?
Yes.
You can't. I mean, if the moment you start putting spines in, the fact that there is no depth, right? You can't accidentally turn slightly left and right because that would make this impossible.
And the fact
it's effectively a 2D game.
Yes, yeah, very true. In fact, it was one of my first observations. It's like, why is that a challenge? Whoop, you just walk around it.
But like, I'm picturing a tutorial level where you have to cycle to work.
Oh, almost. Do that. We're all good. No, we're still good.
Like at this point, the public have been let in, and you're just part of a performance art piece on the diamond. You know, if you straighten your elbow.
Quick!
Much better. Nice try, Buster.
Quick, if I spin it around. Oh, dear. Yes. So it'd be interesting to see what other levels you could make that it doesn't lose its appeal. I mean,
there's a few things you could do, right? Rotrick says 3D would be torture. 3D would actually be impossible. Like you'd lose the fun of the game. I would actually have a semi-randomized, maybe even a roguelike game, where you get through the first few missions and then you start getting randomized missions. And like, the warehouse, steal a briefcase of cash, known obstacles, 2 boxes, set of stairs, moving walkway, and there's that. Or, to get different rewards, you can cash them in and use them to buy upgrades, maybe different costumes, maybe maybe a little mirror that you can put on one of your limbs so it won't set off a laser.
Oh yeah, I like that idea.
Like, there's actually a lot you could do. Yeah. Now, if he knew how to work his knees, he'd be in a much better position right now. Other way. No, you nutter, the one you had. Other way. That's the way. And somehow...
Oh.
Now, last time he did this, he got as far as the box, messed up, flew back to the laser, which threw him up the stairs.
In one move, may I say. If in doubt, twirl around your hands. Right. So I think I can flip over like so.
Yes, you can.
Oh.
Mikey learns gravity.
Oh, I've not used.
So yeah,
I've not used.
I would have things like that. I would have like a very slow security camera, but it can't be a lose condition, right?
No, it has to do something in.
And there has to be a time where the level is just over, like too much time, or like the vase is broken. Actually, that'd be awful. Maybe the vase is broken, or you've just set off the alarm too many times, or whatever it is.
Yes, yeah, because this.
If you used your back leg and straightened it out some, you'd go over the box.
Like so. That's what.
I mean, not what I was thinking, but yep, that works.
That's what Jan meant, wasn't it?
Now take the back leg and gently. If you'd done it gently, you would have changed your center of gravity and been fine.
Mikey does nothing gently.
Let's go this way now.
This is what happened the other day. No.
That's because you don't understand the center of gravity. You're just flailing. So you've got no way of saying, okay, how do I not go backwards?
So those adverts for games on Facebook or anything, and the person's so inept at playing the game, you're just like, I could do better than that. I'm going to play the game. That's the whole purpose of the advert. Yeah.
Once more for the link for the thing. Here's the link for the thing. Does my link go through?
I can see it, so I'm guessing yes. We're all good.
It's actually a little bit painful to watch.
Oh, I did successfully.
I like this spot right here.
Yeah.
I want every position in this exact spot. So yeah, that's what I would do, and I would have like a couple of obstacles per level.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, 4 obstacles on a level like this would be hard mode, right? But what those obstacles are might make a difference, and you might be able to have an upgrade that would allow certain obstacles to be easier, like a chairlift.
This is fine. There's nothing to see here.
Straight elbow. No.
It's all good. Oh. Almost competent.
This is like me playing Counter-Strike.
Now I can see why you've always said no.
So, in my head, what's happening here is Michael has kidnapped a poor member of the public, put a ski mask on them, and put a remote control chip on their spine and is moving their limbs individually. This poor person just passes out in pain.
I mean, you could have if you're too violent, thank you very much. You like break a bone or something, and then that arm goes floppy and you can't use it anymore. That is significantly better than the other day, which took me over 50 minutes.
That is just terrifying.
Oh dear.
So I like this kind of game because it's fun to play. It's a silly little thing, but it just shows one well done mechanic,
Yeah.
like fully explored, with like a couple of good obstacles. Like the box is a fun obstacle, the lasers are a fun obstacle, the stairs are a fun obstacle, and then the glass is either it's an obstacle or it's not.
Yeah.
Just really showcases what you could do here.
Yeah, I don't think a slope. Oh, a slope could be interesting, providing you can still get traction.
I mean, escalators.
Oh, moving stairs.
Yeah, they'd be really helpful in one direction and awful in the other.
You'd have to spin the arm really, really quick.
Or just understand your center of gravity and then fall down the stairs.
No, don't be silly.
I mean, you could make it so you have a small breakable thing like a Fabergé egg, which is easy. You just keep your arm here, but now you can't use this arm.
Have you moved?
No, have you?
That's weird. The lighting's different and everything.
I mean, it's an overhead light.
I'm so confused. No, you know what it is. I'm now looking at OBS and not the real stream, so the rest
there we go.
Rest of the pictures all different. So there we go. Yes, I can confirm Jan is in fact in the same place he was at the beginning of the stream.
Yes. So yeah, that's a kind of stealth game ish. It's very rocket launcher Mikey.
No problem, Roderick. No problem.
You're very welcome, Roderick. But like, even if this isn't something that we could use in Godot for everyone, like there is a game there.
It's very interesting how that mechanic is just the game. Well, I likened it to Human Fall Flat. It's the mechanic of that is very much not necessarily similar, but it's the mechanic is the game. The fact that you've got drunken toddler simulator.
So bear with me. What was the name of the last Watch Dogs game?
Legion.
Yeah,
I know.
Now the whole shtick there was that you had a whole bunch of people you could recruit pretty much anyone in the city and add them. Okay. Have you ever played? Oh, I can't remember the name of the game. Never mind. Okay, so as an idea, if you fail a mission,
right,
that thief gets retired. You have to put your remote control on a new person,
or arrested, or something along those lines.
So now they're going to have different proportions.
Yeah, that would. So some thieves would be better for some missions.
Right. So longer limbs, thicker, thinner torsos, thicker, thinner limbs, bigger, smaller hair or head,
more or less flexibility. I mean, all of those sorts of things can come into play.
Sure. That could be a lot of fun.
Oh, they've got big hair. Flop their hair around
or a crash helmet. I mean, the Payday 2 mask thing suddenly becomes important. Because like a big helmet changes everything.
Maybe you could then use your face as leverage.
You can do now.
This is very true.
In very specific circumstances. Like, I think there's a lot you could do with that to make it a fun game. You'd have to nail down the mechanics. Like, this was made in Unity.
Yeah.
Which is an up-and-coming game engine. I'm pretty excited about that. I know you could do something like this with Godot, probably using inverse kinematics, probably using bone handles.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite sure how you do it yet. But yeah, you could do a lot of fun stuff.
Well, I know the rigging animation system in Godot 4 has a big overhaul.
Oh yeah.
There is something I was reading that was being left behind to do with the animation system. It was being left until the next push.
Yeah,
with Godot
I didn't catch the
4.1.
whole thing because I was sleepy. But yeah,
I need to look that up just in fact, just in case we're planning on using part of it. But yeah.
Now, I have to go cook lunch in a minute, and it's a little bit early, but we are approaching the hour. So,
Yes.
Do any peoples have any exciting or even boring questions, concerns, comments, thoughts, interpretive dances, or jingles? Michael doesn't.
Well, what? Hey, wait, hey. Vikings on
like
Amiga.
Vikings on Amiga. Yeah. Very much like that. So picking the right person for the puzzle. But I also like the semi-randomized thief thing. So you might get a little old lady. You might get like a skate kid.
I do like the idea of the various characters. I mean, this is a great way of filling out a game that would otherwise lose its freshness very, very quickly.
And actually, just making the levels is very simple, right? It's just a little bit of set dressing in one room, put a couple of obstacles in, and you're good to go.
I mean, I think considering how straightforward the game is, it's got a lot of potential, that mechanic.
You know that trope of crawling through the air ducts?
Yes.
That's a level.
Here comes Mike.
Backwards.
And he's out. Well, actually, just getting into the air duct could be like the first part.
I mean, you could just give people like a choice of entryways, get them through the obstacles, and a choice of exits.
Like the SX, you can take the vent, the computer console, or
do you want to go stealth? Do you want to go social? Or do you want to go combat?
Social.
I don't want to do a combat game in this.
Hold on a moment. I'm laying down. I'm dodging all the bullets. It's fine. Bullet time.
Oh no, he's swirling his arm.
What will we do? Yeah, bullet dodge. Oh dear.
Rotating nose with a remote control node on the leg, etc. Yeah, that would totally work. All right. I need to go cook some lunch.
Well, thank you for being able to join in this evening.
Thank you for having me. I had a lovely time. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Yes. We will be back regular schedule and everything in coming weeks when Jan's back. I can't remember when he's back. He'll be back soon.
Yeah.
But thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you.
Lots of information. Bye.
Bye. Press it.
I'm finding it. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Press it. He's doing the swirly arm thing.